march and press. Plus you can assemble in crowds and protest. Number 2, right to bear arms and cannons. I bet the Minutemen didn't know about handguns. Number 3, when soldiers get sleepy, you don't have to let them sleep up on your couch. Number 4, no one can search and seize. It protects me unless people have a warrant to arrest me. Number 5, if you arrest me, respect me. Sorry, Alec, there's no double jeopardy. What'd you do after school? I plead the 5th. What'd you do after that, dude? I plead the 5th. I don't have to incriminate myself or risk my health. Whenever I'm in trouble, I just plead the 5th.
Really
Number
short.
6, you must process me speedily. 7, in front of my peers on the jury. Number 8, you can use cruel or unusual punishment. You can make me drink, chopping time for the fun of it. 9, the people get more than these rights. 10 states can make other laws and they just might. This is the Bill of Rights. 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 This is the 10.
Okay, for those that don't know, real quickly, I'm using the website Flocabulary, and it is a paid site, but you can have a free trial and try it out. I'm gonna turn this around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. There you go. Hello, I am Andrea Reynolds. I am a former classroom teacher turned full-time social studies whisperer. I'm passionate about American history, and I also love integrating literacy and technology stuff, so I have a lot of ideas to share. I help take the activities I did in the classroom and put a spin on them to help homeschooling families use them. So last week I was talking about the Constitution, and I said I was going to do the 3rd broadcast on Friday, but I need to learn to set myself up for success and not say when I'm going to do a broadcast, because yeah, that just doesn't work for me. So if I say I'm going to do a broadcast like at a certain time, it's probably not going to happen at that time, but it will happen eventually. So this is my part 3, and then by the time I got around to wanting to do it, it was like Friday night, and I was like, nobody wants to talk about the Constitution at like 8 o'clock on Friday night except me. So I waited until today. So to follow up after the Constitution, I wanted to share some things I did last year with my 5th graders that will work for any age, really. And what you just saw was Flocabulary, and I always started by showing that and having the kids kind of guess what the amendments were about first, because even with the broken down like that, the way Flocabulary does, they really don't understand them. And if you show them, okay, and I have a Constitution Day post, but it doesn't have Bill of Rights stuff on it, but it does have the one video I'm going to show you. This website right here, Bill of Rights Institute.org, is a really good website because it's all about the Bill of Rights. Look, and I did not know you could change your font on a Mac, and I changed my font. So if you have kids like initially look at the Bill of Rights, they're gonna look at them in the same way I did, like I don't really know what that is. People are pretty clear on like the First Amendment and the Second Amendment because those make the news a lot. Especially the Second Amendment. But the rest of it, especially when you get down to like 6 through 10, this is very hard for elementary especially, even middle school and high school, to understand. So what I did last year is I had my kids come up with a way to have hand motions to act them out. Now, something called whole brain teaching in the classroom, and if you want to find out more about that, you can go to whole brain, like whole, like your entire, not like a hole in your head brain. I mean, yeah, I have one of those probably, but not that. Wholebrainteaching.com, and it's something you can pick and choose from. You don't have to use the whole entire thing, and it is a lot of brain-based research, and I like to help empower like people with ADHD like myself, or creative brains, and we need movement. We can't sit still all day, and so when you throw in hand motions, that's going to make kids connect more to what you're teaching, no matter what age, what setting. And so I had my kids come up with hand motions for the Bill of Rights, and what I did is after they kind of looked at, I gave them a passage about the Bill of Rights, and I gave them the lyrics to the Flocabulary. Okay, I used interactive notebooks, and I'm going to take this clip light off because that's just too bright. And I gave them, that's the thing I like about Flocabulary, like you can print out the lyrics. And one thing to think about is a lot of the times the Roman numerals are not in like standards anymore. And of course, if you're homeschooling, you're not like necessarily following standards, but that's something you need to think back. Okay, wait a minute. Do my kids even know what Roman numerals are? Because if they don't, you need to start there. So I had them label the Roman numeral right beside the number. And they also, I showed Windows Notes the other day. And I gave them like a copy of the preamble. I filmed that like on Teachers Pay Teachers. I filmed that on Teachers Pay Teachers, all freebies. I had them make a Windows Notes for like citizens' rights. And she's writing like facts, and she's writing like questions that she had about something, and then her feelings. I think the president was right, blah, blah. This was I had shown them a clip about like prisoners at Guantanamo Bay and whether or not they should have the same rights as American citizens when they're going through a trial. Like whether we, and I did that with my higher level class last year, and that led to a really good discussion. And I also had them write a response about where is it? Right here. Oh, the Second Amendment. And the eighth, I'm like, do I think we should have stricter gun control? And then we talked about juveniles and whether or not they should be tried as an adult or whether they should be given a second chance. And so I like to, you know, always relate history to modern day stuff, because that way kids connect. And they, I mean, believe it or not, like these were 10-year-olds, and they really can come up with some profound stuff, and they don't be afraid to talk about the tough issues with them, because they can do it. And then they, you know, if they get fired up, they're going to write a lot, and that's always good to have them writing. Okay, so I'm going to show you the pictures of, hi Tania, of my kids from last year doing the, coming up with the thing for the Bill of Rights. And I was going to cover up all their little faces with emojis, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that, because they were so happy, and I don't have these kids anymore. They're in middle school, and I don't even work at the school. So it's fine. So what I did is, like I said, I did this in like 3 different levels, and this is how you can like modify this for different ages. Thank you. I'm going to make myself get back on here more. For like my class that I had a lot of English language learners in, or for what you could do with younger students, I had them, we all came up with one together. Like we went through the amendments, and for the First Amendment, they did a motion all together. Okay. And then my, basically the way my classes were split up last year is kind of like they were ability grouped. And so like my middle range group, they, in my lower class, they weren't necessarily low. They were just mostly English language learner, because I'm ESOL certified and gifted certified. So I got everybody. So my middle class, I had them come up with the motions and teach it to everyone else. So they were a little more on their own. And then we went through them all together. Like I gave like a group of kids. So if you were doing this with a family, different kids could teach each other different motions, or you could come up with them all together. Or what I did with my gifted class is we did charades. I gave them an index card with an amendment on it, and they had to come up with a skit and act it out and have the rest of the class guess. You see that one right there. It's like about like probable cause. And I didn't give them the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. I gave them the hard ones too, and they did a really good job. I think this one is the one about, and I'm terrible with remembering the details. That's why I always had my own little Bill of Rights cheat sheet. I think this was the one you have to have a warrant. I know this one was the one about quartering soldiers, because this one was asleep, and then he was like, you can't stay here. And they love that kind of stuff. They love and that's what I love about social studies, is you can get really creative. And you see like this little girl right here, she was brand new to America, and she did not speak any English. Okay. Is she sitting there with her head down? No. Same to this one. He was very new to America too. And of course, the newest students to America, they're not going to understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And so this is something they can all do. And it was fine. Like she's looking on with what other people are doing and copying what they're doing. And that's over time, you know, they learn it that way. So that's exactly what they did. And we went through all 10 amendments together, and they came out with some really cute stuff, because just because a child is not like the most scholarly student doesn't mean they aren't creative. And that's why I was like, you have to give them a chance to do things in a different way. So that was so cute, the way they did that. They were into it. So that's just something to try. And that works with any content. any content, you can come up with hand motions to remember it. And that is something I did with even the groups of vertebrates. Last year we did like there are 5 groups of vertebrates, and then we came up with little motions for like birds, and even for mammals we did like mammals, you know, because of hair. So throw in some hand motions, and it kind of helps ingrain it in their memory, and it also makes it more fun, because I'm not one to sit and use a workbook, sit and use a textbook. If you're tied to a set curriculum, that's, you know, maybe you can't control that, but you can take 2 minutes at the beginning of an activity and you do something hands-on. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to show, like I said, in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, this is a forever freebie. I have a Constitution picture dictionary, and that is on, I have it on a link to it right here. I use, and my link to my website is on my profile, of course. This is socialstudieswhisperer.com. But it's right here down at the bottom. But for everything I taught last year, I had kids use picture dictionaries, and for this one, they put like the basic, what is the Bill of Rights and all that stuff. And this is the Constitution, but then it moved on to, then they listed all the amendments too. I got the pages out of order. So for every single thing they did, they had in it, and I added an answer key too. So I didn't have those before. Because I didn't need them, and I didn't think, everyone else in the world doesn't love social studies as much as me. So they would keep them in their notebook for everything we did. And they're really, it's a true story, they're actually really easy to make. You just make 3 columns. So see Civil War, and then you have it all together in one place. And I think that notebooks would definitely work for homeschooling too. Everything we did, I always gave them passages and all of that stuff if they needed to go back and review. So that's kind of the Roaring 20s, everything. So if you want your kids to have like a actual definition and picture, and then like even include grammar, because that's how you can get in your social studies, is incorporating it into literacy. So this is what that's for, and that's a freebie in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and there's a link to it right there, like I said. One last thing I was going to share is how to use SafeShare. Now, a lot of teachers know this, but I was watching a homeschooling scope the other day about incorporating technology, and I mentioned it, and some people didn't know what it was, so I want to just like show it in action first. I just pulled this YouTube clip from like the from my post, and I also have a link to SafeShare right here. So this way you don't have ads, okay? Because even if I pull this up on my YouTube, there's nothing wrong with this, but look. Okay, like all my ready to play videos, you never know. Like I wouldn't want kids seeing the word hell right there. So I, even like my own family. So you never know, like what's gonna, the worst is the ads that pop up, or like at the end of a video, you know, when it's done and it's frozen, it's going on to the next one. Sometimes you'll have a bunch of like little scenes pop up and you just never know. So you don't have to worry about that if you use SafeShare. All you do is cut and paste your YouTube, and this works with Vimeo, a lot of Vimeo clips too. Now sometimes it won't let you do this, but you copy it. Why does it always do that glare? Come on. This is a sign I need an iPhone 7. Not really. I don't know why it does that glare. There. Okay. So I just copied and pasted it. Copy. And it works on any kind of computer. It doesn't have to be on a Mac. Come on. Why does it do that? Just to irritate me, I think that's why. I don't know why it does that. Okay. Probably because I'm blind and the way I have to angle my computer so I can see, because I'm old. Okay, so go to safesharetv.tv, and it's so easy. You just paste it. Boom. Do generate safe view. And now, generate safe view. Oh, they did some kind of new update. Oh, failed to create safe link, can't extract. That's exactly why I didn't do that. Okay, sometimes that doesn't work. I don't know why it did that. Let me try this with another one, because I said it does not, it's not 100% proof. This is a really cute video. It's the Constitution. It's kids singing like We the People. and they made up a song, so it's really good. And I have a link to it, but that's why I didn't have the Safe Share on there. For some reason, this one didn't work, because sometimes I think they're copyrighted. So let's try this one. Okay, that one worked. And then what happens is you get this, and you have to be careful, start playing like in YouTube at the same time. So you have it right there, and then what you can do is cut, you have your own link to the video. You can cut and paste the Safe Share link, and I don't know why that one is so long. I usually put them in bit.ly links anyways, but you can watch it right here. Of course, you could watch it immediately, or you could cut and paste it and save it for later. And you don't have any ads, any links at all. So check out Safe Share TV. And like I said, that is pretty much something that let me show you wholebrainteaching.com really quick, because that's probably not something that made sense. Let me show you the website. That's what where I got the idea. I kind of put my own spin on some of the motions, and that's where I got the motion idea. That was from the mirror. So look for wholebrainteaching.com. My computer is being slow. But that is all for Bill of Rights. And of course, if you have any questions or you need more ideas, please know anytime I'm talking about something on here, there's always a bazillion more ideas where these came from. And I try to like not overwhelm people, but I'm really passionate about social studies, and so I just tend to like talk a mile a minute. But if you have any questions, feel free to tweet me or find me on my Facebook page, The Social Studies Whisperer. And I always post my replays on The Social Studies Whisperer. And if you have a request for like a specific topic, let me know, because I got ideas for everything. So thank you for watching. And let me turn this back around on the Bill of Rights. Let's see. We already had that screenshot. Let's do Constitution Day, Constitution Day crash course. Last time we have crashed. It's over. Thank you for watching. And you guys, if you do graphic design stuff, I did do a broadcast on Friday, but I didn't do one about social studies. If you want to know like a really good collage graphic design site in addition to Canva, I talked about Be Funky. Go back and watch that one, because it's an amazing site. It came out of nowhere. It surprised me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.